let's just jump into this, okay? How to build an online community as a creator. What's up, everybody? John Moon here with Buy Me a Coffee. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is another installment of our community building series. This certainly isn't the last video we're going to be doing on this. This isn't the last conversation we're going to be having on this. Although this does sort of conclude this trilogy of community building, this introductory trilogy, if you will. The first two videos explored the what and the why. What are online communities, at least in a creator's perspective, a creator trying to make money and monetize their creative work. We also explored why they are important for creators to start building. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to start one, but not only that, but build it and sustain it. But let's recap real quick. If you haven't watched the first two videos on this, that's fine. They will be linked in the description below. But first off, what an online community is, why we're even talking about it in the first place. Well, obviously, online communities have always kind of existed on the internet, on Facebook, in Facebook groups, on Reddit especially. This isn't a new concept, but the reason we're talking about it now is because it's going to become very important for creators to start building these communities, and you're going to start seeing more and more of these creators actually doing it, and it's happening right now too. And one of the biggest reasons why is because the internet is entering this new phase called Web3, which is allowing creators to not only continue to make money online, but going forward, they're going to start not having to rely on heavily centralized platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, which you need a giant following in order to make even a little bit of money. And instead, they're going to start building these small little communities of their most loyal fans and use new online tools and methods to help them find new creative ways to make money off a lot less people. But how does one actually go about starting one of these communities? Like, where do they exist? Well, it's broken down like this. First, you need to obviously go out and find your community members. You need to look at, the audience that you already have as a creator. It might be small, it might be pretty big, and you need to start identifying who within that audience is a kind of a key person. Who's engaging the most? Who's commenting the most? Who is interacting with you the most? If you haven't already started interacting with your audience, then you got to do that. There is a little bit of community management work that goes into having that audience and wanting to make money off that audience. So if you haven't already started interacting with them, do that, because then you're going to start finding more and more people who seem to be sticking around and really liking what you do. Those are the people you need to start honing in on and, eventually bring into your community. Secondly, you need to define the purpose of the community and set up goals. What is this for? It really shouldn't be so much about you at the center of attention, although you are the creator and they are the followers. Take the focus away from just selling your fans stuff, whether it's your artwork, your merchandise, your music. That's all great and keep doing that, but start thinking of creative ways that you can actually give back to your community. Offer them more. Maybe it's in the form of an educational course. If you are a gamer or a streamer, maybe setting up tournaments, fun interactive things that your community can participate in. Or maybe you're in the fitness or self-improvement, self-help industries, and you want to keep providing valuable information to your fans, but on a more intimate level. So that's important to really figure out what's the purpose of this community. Next, you need to select a platform that works for you. And yes, we're still using platforms. I don't mean, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Those were there to help you build your audience first. But now what we're focusing on here is moving away from those, taking your fans with you and putting them into a closed community, something where, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, is not going to take, money from you or ban you for no reason and just basically have control over you, at least to a certain extent. The whole idea of Web3 and, this next phase of the internet is about creators finally taking full ownership over their work and full ownership over the platform that they use to present that work. So anyway, the types of, communities I'm referring to specifically are Discord, especially. That's the biggest one. Slack, Circle, Telegram, TeamSpeak. I don't really know too much about other ones, but they're essentially kind of glorified chat rooms, but you can do so much more. You can separate conversations into channels, you can set up bots, you can enter audio only rooms. So do a little bit of research, depending on what industry, what type of creative work that you're in, find the platform that best suits you. Okay, now you know where the community is going to live. Now you need to figure out whether that community is going to be free paid, or a combination of both. Meaning maybe it's free to join, but within that there are things that you can subscribe to. Could be anything, behind the scenes access to, content that you're making. It could be giving a little bit more power to make decisions within the community. And a huge thing that you're gonna start seeing too, and it's already being done, not even on the major influencer level, but on the small scale too, is that creators are gonna start making their own cryptocurrency. And that may sound insane, but it's really not. It's going to eventually become the norm, and the reason why it sounds so crazy now is because it's really early. What I mean by this is that I could go out and create John Coin, although that's probably taken because John is like the most basic fucking white boy name ever. Let's say it's not taken. I develop John Coin. My community might be completely free to join, but I happen to have this currency that people can buy into. But why would people do that? Well, maybe that currency is what gives people access to exclusive stuff. So now they're holders of that coin. But why does that matter? Well, as I get more successful as a creator, the value of that coin is going to go up. More and more people are going to want to buy into it, and they can sell it or trade it or whatever they want for money. But if I have a super nurturing community and a currency, that means I have my own economy. And the value of that coin is kind of dependent on how flourishing my community is. Does that make sense? I won't go any more into it, at least in this video, but it's gonna become a normal thing. Instead of people investing in stocks, like in companies, pretty soon you're gonna be able to invest in your favorite creators. You're gonna be able to invest in a person. That's pretty wild, but with a community, you can do that. But moving on. Now you've established not only where your community lives, but whether it's going to be free, paid, or a combination of both. Next, you got to set it all up. You actually have to start putting people in it. But before you do that, you need to lay down some ground rules. What people can do, what they can't do, what they can't say, and then also create an identity for the members within the community. Why are they there in the first place? What are they getting out of it that they weren't already, just as a fan and part of your audience? And that ties into your whole purpose and goal. But now you actually have to logistically figure out what it is that you're doing. And then from there, you got to build it. And you got to take care of it. You got to keep bringing members in. I mean, once you've established exactly what it is that you're doing, and also the type of members that are in there, then it will become even easier over time to pitch that to new and prospective members. And the great thing about a community too is that if you take care of them, they're eventually just gonna build it for you. They're always gonna be getting something out of it, especially if they're holders of your John coins. It's only gonna motivate them more to boost your community, boost your brand, because they're getting something out of it too. That's where this whole synergy community comes from. That's the whole concept of community. And down the line, you're gonna find your most loyal community members too. I mean, you already found your most loyal audience members, but now within this small group of people, there's gonna be a select few that are really doing a lot of the work for you. You can even hire them eventually to run the community. Really, whatever it is that you create, and it can be anything. You can form a community around the most obscure thing. There are people out there that want to connect with those who have similar beliefs, values, interests as them. It's your job to unite them and take care of them. And you're going to want to, because you're going to create amazing relationships with them in the process. And if you remember from the first video, there's 4 key reasons why people are even in online communities to begin with. For networking, meeting like-minded people. For the information, the educational aspect of it. For a sense of belonging, they're part of something cool now. They got the John coin, they're Johnnies now. And lastly, for the entertainment, whether it's you entertaining them with your content or it's them entertaining themselves. If you hit all 4 of those things, that's a golden community. You're set. No more relying on major platforms and unpredictable algorithms to help build you an audience. You don't need that anymore. That's done. Because now you have a real dope group of people who are building your brand for you. And that is the future. That's the future of the creator economy. This is huge, and we're so excited here at Buy Me a Coffee to keep talking about this and having more conversations about this. And what's great is that, you can start now, even as a tiny creator, you can start finding that support from people. And it doesn't have to be much. It can be something as simple as, you like what I do? Buy me a coffee. That simple, hey, buy me a coffee might turn into, want to join my community? Hey, want to buy my coin? You want to be part of this really awesome thing I got going on where not only am I benefiting from it, but you are too? That's where we are headed. And the beauty of it all is that you're still very early to this whole concept. Obviously, community building's been around, but the way it's being applied now, in this creator space, in this economy, in this age of the internet, there's a lot of opportunity. I would jump on it. And yeah, that's that. If you like this, then please consider subscribing to Buy Me a Coffee, because we do these videos weekly. We're going to be diving much deeper into this type of stuff and what it's like to be a creator in this day and age, the opportunities that are out there, the methods to keep yourself motivated, how to really monetize your passion. For once, this is exciting stuff, and I'm glad you're here, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.